everybody, welcome to a special video from BevNerd.com. I'm actually sitting down with the head honcho behind kind of like a viral, like uprising, just a kind of a big deal right now. If you're a BevVenger or BevNerd or into sodas at all, you have heard of Surge. I'm here with Evan Carr. So are you like the founder of the Surge movement?
Well, pretty much, I guess the answer to that would be yes. I started the Surge movement not this last December, but I guess December 2011, 2 days before Christmas, and I just kind of made the page to see who else missed that drink and wanted that drink back on the market, and here we are, a little over a year later, and we're close to 13,000 likes just strictly on word of mouth of people hearing about the movement and trying to join the cause. So,
Well, that's awesome. If you don't know what Surge is, it's a variation of a Norwegian citrus soft drink that was called Urge. Surge, like Urge, was produced by the Coca-Cola Company to compete with Pepsi's Mountain Dew. However, Surge has like a more hardcore edge, like Mountain Dew advertising at the time, in a further attempt to take customers away from Pepsi. So it's kind of like a citrusy drink. It's got some pretty good caffeine numbers, loaded with sugar. Pretty much crack for kids. I can definitely attest to that experience that I've had with Surge. What are your feelings on Surge from whenever you were a kid? Did you ever have this regularly? I mean, why did you want to start this?
yeah, of course. I mean, that's bringing it back is I remember being a kid and with Surge, and I mean everything I did, whether I'm just playing on the theater, being funny and doing backyard wrestling, whatever, there's always a Surge there, and it's kind of, for a lot of the members, it's more of I guess a lifestyle, than it's just a little more than a drink, I would say. It was part of the 90s, it's part of the nostalgia. And the drink is amazing itself. I think what makes Surge so great is it's not just so much more that goes into that in the community as well.
I do remember having Surge at many a birthday party where I would have people spend the night, and I just remember drinking way too much Surge, eating some Pizza Hut, playing N64, Mario Party, or WWF No Mercy. So that's pretty interesting backyard wrestling. So have you actually talked to a representative at Coca-Cola in Atlanta about possibly bringing back Surge, why it was taken off the market, or anything like that?
Well, so what's going on with Coke is they make it really difficult to talk to anyone that has any true say behind the product's discontinuation. If you call 1-800-GET-COKE, that's their consumer affairs hotline, who, they're supposed to deal strictly, with customer requests and complaints, etc. And they have pretty much a written, it's already written, and pretty much, the employees just repeat what's on the screen, saying that the product is discontinued, they're sorry, to disappoint, and they'll send our requests to their management team that is in charge of that stuff. And I also have Coca-Cola corporates, their headquarters in Atlanta. I have their corporate phone number, and I've tried calling different people who are in charge of marketing, even Steve, I forget his last name, but he's in charge of Coca-Cola refreshments, and I've worked with the other admins of the page, and we actually sent him we sent his assistants to his assistant's email a whole document on why we think Surge should be brought back. I guess a proposal, you would say, with all these different analytics that we've collected through Facebook, etc., of Surge stuff, but no one ever calls back. Or if I do talk to anybody, they give you the runaround. They say I'm not in charge of that, and you ask them who is in charge of that, and they say they don't know. So it's a fun little game we're trying to play with Coke right now.
Right. Well, I did. I actually found out about the Surge movement. A new person on Facebook liked the BevNerd page and told me about it, so that's pretty cool. I feel bad that I've been kind of under the radar for so long. Otherwise, I would have been helping maybe donate a little bit of money or spread the word. That's about all I can do for you right now, anyways, is help you spread the word. So you go to Coke, they're giving you the runaround. They're saying it's a discontinued product, despite you bringing these analytics to them. I know a lot of people that you have called Coke lately. I know I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook. You've got people to post on their Facebook wall and request that Surge be selected as, I think, Coke's Drink of the Year or something like that. So when stuff isn't working out with you in corporate, what has been your means of just bringing it to the forefront and just making them see that this is legit plea for this soda to come back? And what are y'all doing as far as getting the word out there and getting everybody wants Surge to come back?
There are a couple things we're doing. Obviously, we're what we're calling surging events, where we pick out a day about a month in advance, and we'll set up a Facebook event and have people surge what we call it the Coca-Cola hotline. And I mean, we've done that so many times now, and I mean, everyone at the hotline knows who we are. They know about our Facebook. Coca-Cola corporate has even sent out a mass email to the consumer affairs hotline telling them that a surge day is coming up and to be prepared for the mass amount of phone calls. Um, we've done that on their Facebook page too, but unfortunately, Coke has banned a large number of our members from even posting on their Facebook page. So, whoever was in charge of that didn't like that, and kind of the next big step we're taking is we raised almost $4,000 for a billboard that we're going to be putting less than half a mile from Coca-Cola's headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. And that was an idea that was from the members, and we decided that that would be a really good idea. And the other admins, Matt, who's an admin for the page, he put together this crazy video, kind of explaining how the billboard would work and what we need to raise and stuff. And of course, we have Sean, who's another admin, who's really good, wording things, and I guess making I don't know what you want to call it, documents for us to send over and everything like that. So it's pretty crazy. Our billboard should go live next month, and at that point we're going to surge to the local media in Atlanta, Georgia, and really try and go after it. And we actually just did a interview with Business Insider too, who has a lot of their articles featured on Yahoo, and they're going to do something on the surge movement as well, which should hopefully be up fairly soon. So that might also really kind of help and push it over the edge, because we continue to grow every day, and like you said, you just recently kind of found out about it, and that's kind of how everyone is. And slowly, we keep growing more and more as more people find out about the page. And with 90s nostalgia as popular as it is right now, I don't think Coke can ignore our page for long, or the consumers' requests.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Especially people that grew up in the '90s are starting to get older, starting to have like actual careers and money to put toward buying these things. I mean, there's a need for surge out there. So what you do with the need, you usually try to fulfill the need. And I just don't understand, you know, why the runaround's going on. I mean, I don't really remember why surge was originally discontinued. I just know that I guess they tried to bring out um, a replacement in Vault, and we saw how well that went. And I'll be honest with you, at the time I did remember what Surge tasted like, and I tried the Vault when it first came out, and it was just watered down citrus soda. I just went back to Mountain Dew, and I know for a fact that Mellow Yellow just does not cut it. Um, and Mellow Yellow sucks. I'll just be honest with you.
That's the biggest problem right now. And Mellow Yellow, I don't even know why they call it Mellow Yellow. If you have a Mellow Yellow can from 10 years ago, when Surge was first discontinued, Mellow Yellow was launched out. And if I have a bunch of cans from back then too, and if you look at those cans and you look at the ingredients and you look at the new can, there are actually a couple different variations in the ingredients. So Mellow Yellow, it doesn't even taste the same that it did even just 10 years ago. And they I think that's the biggest problem right now is Coca-Cola is set on trying to make Mellow Yellow their citrus soda, even though it's already been phased out of my area again, as well as a lot of other members in the movement. I know it's still strong in certain areas, but it's a matter of time before Coke realizes, I don't know if someone's job is on the line because of it, or whatever, if it goes much deeper, or if not at all. But it's only a matter of time before they can actually see that mellow yellow is not the answer, especially trying to compete with Mountain Dew.
No,
And
no,
me,
absolutely not.
I didn't even buy. I tried Vault once or twice, and I purposely didn't buy it because I thought it was a Surge ripoff, and I was like, I want this stuff to go away so the real stuff can come back. And I feel like that's how a lot of people were, and that's the true reason why Vault, failed ultimately. So
Well, it did seem like I believe that the movement started about the time that Vault was discontinued. I know they tried a lot with Vault Zero and Cherry Vault, and I think they even no, that was Mellow Yellow as far as that one goes. But it's just not hitting the marks, I guess. And I just know that they've got to do something to compete with Mountain Dew. Um, I do work in vending, and I tell you, I do sell a butt ton of Mountain Dew. I mean, just people just got to have their caffeine, got to have their sweet, and that's definitely something that Surge would bring back as far as that goes. So if you are there plans for the billboard to be put up in Atlanta? I mean, I know you raised the money, and I know you did a Facebook poll on what you wanted the billboard to say. I mean, is there a date that we can drive by and see this? Hopefully.
tentatively, it is February 4th. It all depends on how the creative design goes. We need to kind of jump through some hoops to, go through corporate at Clear Channel, because Coca-Cola is a big customer for Clear Channel. So everything we do, we need to make sure that we can't get in any legal trouble, and that Clear Channel isn't going to lose a customer. And we're not trying to be mean to Coke, or anything like that. We just want to get our point across that, hey, we love the Coca-Cola brand, and that's why we try to bring Surge back as much as we do. And so we're trying to get a message across that's gonna be more friendly than hostile, if anything. But we definitely want to get our point across that people want their Surge back. So
Oh yeah, it almost seems like what you've got going on here is just like an underground thing. It's almost like a soda anonymous kind of group, and I guess that's
yeah.
to a certain extent we could put it that way. Probably not nearly as hostile, but both of them, they do fight for what they believe in, and I guess that to a certain extent you're doing exactly that. And so far, I mean, I guess it's a true success once Surge is able to be purchased at a store. But from what I can see so far, y'all are definitely on the right track. And I think there's money to be made, and I would definitely buy Surge. I know a lot of people would, and I just think it's a really really cool thing.
Pretty much, just everyone spreading the word, tell your friends about it. And like I said, we're an ant in Coca-Cola's pants, and I mean we're definitely not going away. We continue, to grow every single day. I think it's a lot easier for, especially with Facebook existing. There were the days of SaveSurge.org where it was a little harder to get everyone together, and now with social media, we actually have the opportunity to all work together and actually make something happen, which is really good.
Now, do you have any like do-it-yourself kind of things, like recipes that kind of taste like Surge? Or I do know that during the Save Surge movement, there were members that would create recipes to mimic the look and taste of Surge, stuff like that. Have you come into any ideas, or maybe there's like an off-brand citrus soda that somewhat fits what you want out of this? Is there anything that we can do to substitute for now?
I know there are different recipes on SaveSurge.org, and for me, I drank a 10-year-old Surge a couple months ago, and surprisingly, it was still great, and I'm still alive, so that's what's important. But for me, I've tried all sorts of citrus drinks. Obviously, Sundrop, Mellow Yellow, Mountain Dew, different flavors of Mountain Dew. Monster has some citrus drinks, but for me, the closest thing I've seen out there is probably the NOS citrus energy drink. But even then, it's only the first couple sips that really kind of give you that nostalgia of Surge. But nothing quite does it like the real deal. So
I'm looking at the ingredients list and like the level of caffeine. I really think that it was in the marketing of Surge itself that seemed to scare people more than anything because it was like this super extreme. It would make you go crazy. You'd have so much energy and stuff. Whereas Vault actually had more caffeine. It just wasn't ever marketed the same way or marketed at all. Because I don't know.
I think the biggest issue is in the 90s. You know, energy drinks didn't really exist, and kind of like to come out that I believe it actually has less caffeine than Mountain Dew as well. Imagine if Monster Energy came out when Surge did. I mean, you've got a can. Compare the caffeine content. I mean, Monster Energy probably wouldn't exist either. That stuff that came out then. I mean, it's so much different now with the energy drink market out there, and people, I guess, their parents restricted, their Surge. I mean, I was the same way. I found ways to get it, of course, but parents, since we're all grown up, no one can tell us what to buy and what not to buy, and I feel like families today, parents that do allow their children to have caffeine, obviously, having a bunch of Surge is not a good idea, along with any other soda. It's not just Surge. But, I feel like, depending on how it's marketed, I don't think it's going to be nearly as big of a deal as it used to be.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, 10 years ago, you wouldn't go to a convenience store and buy a can of cocaine energy drink. You couldn't find 5 Hour Energy or anything like that. I think something like that coming back now would not have the same effects as it did before as far as that goes. You're absolutely right on that. It's just a different time.
I've even told the people at the Consumer Affairs Hotline, it's been a solid 10 years since Surge has been discontinued, and the initial rollout was in the mid 90s. So we're talking more realistically about 15 years here. You've got more than a whole generation has passed where they're saying when you call 1-800-GET-COKE, they tell you that a product is discontinued because of the consumer demand, etc. You've got a whole new generation of kids that have no idea what Surge is, and like you wouldn't even know if that would work on them. I mean, in my opinion, if they did the whole rollout again, it would be just as crazy because these kids haven't even been introduced to this product. So imagine you've got all these kids where Surge is being marketed to, plus all the adults, young adults now that remember Surge and were crazy about Surge. You might be talking, double, your sales of what you had before. And the Coke's biggest problem is actually picking a product and sticking with it, especially with their citrus drinks. They're constantly flip-flopping back and forth. You got Surge, Vault, Mellow Yellow. They had Citra for a while. It's just even between Mr. Pibb and Pibb Extra and all these different brands and rebranding and this and that. Coke needs to pick a citrus drink and stick with it, and I think it needs to be Surge.
And it's just kind of weird, like as far as like the Coke family of products that you can go to a local Walmart and buy. I can buy Tab, but I can't buy Surge.
There's no online presence for Tab. There's no online presence for Pibb Extra. There's no online presence for Barq's Root Beer. If you go and look at Coca-Cola's brands, our Surge movement has a bigger presence in the majority of their products. I mean, obviously aside from their staple products such as Sprite, all the variations of Coke and Fanta, etc. But Surge, it's amazing how much more of a presence Surge has. And the fact that they're still selling Tab and stuff like that and has no online presence, imagine what the possibility of Surge could do. Even McDonald's exclusively sells Fruitopia's Strawberry Passion, even though it's rebranded under Minute Maid. It's the same thing. But even I don't understand why they can't try Surge out in like a Coca-Cola Freestyle machine where they've got over 152 flavors in there. There's no reason that Coke can't just do something. Even if it's exclusively at Burger King. I mean, I'd love to see a national rollout, but I'll take what I can get. And I think everyone else kind of feels the same way.
Yeah, I mean, Taco Bell does have their Baja Blast Mountain Dew. You could definitely get that in just a chain restaurant like a McDonald's or Burger King. That's great. It also seems like they could at least bring it out for one quarter. Just make it a limited time only thing and just see how it goes. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Make money?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like with all of, I mean, I know with me and all of, the near 13,000 people right now, I can't even tell you how much Surge I would buy just to make sure I had it, for a long time, to come. And I'm sure, I'm positive it would sell out everywhere just because everyone would be stockpiling on the stuff. And that, for Coke, right off the bat, that would make a lot of us shut up. But I think that Coke would actually realize that, hey, this product is going to sell. And even, Urge was discontinued in Norway, and it was recently brought back due to an online campaign. And now, Urge actually has a pretty large share in the market of citrus drinks in Norway. And not only that, they've also made energy drink variations that are actually really good as well. I just don't understand why, it seems like such a great idea to me that I don't understand why Coke wouldn't make Surge and then have the energy drink variations that Urge does in Norway. I mean, it's such a great idea, but there's nothing happening there.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things that just happens. So whether you find success, which I as a bev nerd would definitely want you guys to succeed and have Surge available nationwide in Burger King or just somewhere in a can for 3 months on the shelves. So do you think if you've got the experience as like an underground soda revolution coming back kind of thing? Do you think you could do the same for Crystal Pepsi or Orbitz?
It's possible, the first thing I would do is I would go after the original Mr. Pibb, and I don't mind Pibb Extra, but if I had to pick a drink, I'd go after regular Mr. Pibb. But with the Surge movement, I mean, pretty much anyone, if you put your mind to it, there are plenty of people that want to make it happen. You can pretty much do it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually, someone made some type of movement page about one of those products and actually, got it to be brought back. But it's just, you got to get everyone together. The social media, I think, is the biggest thing, is getting everyone organized and, together and to all strike at once. The big picture.
Well, that definitely sounds like you know what y'all are doing, and I think this day and age, something that can be crowdsourced just as fully as anything can be. Just everybody, voices can be heard now on Facebook and Twitter, and I think that the billboard idea and concept is an excellent idea, and it's going to do nothing but get more people behind the Surge movement. And Coke will just eventually have to just do something. So I just don't understand. But anyways, it was awesome talking to you, Evan. I would like it if you could just to please give out some links to the BevNerd fans on how can we find the Surge movement and how can we help.
Yeah, we definitely, we appreciate you doing this for us. Obviously, it's great exposure for us, and we will be glad to post stuff for you on the Facebook page. But I would have everyone go to facebook.com/Surge Movement. We also have been another Facebook page. It's a Surge Soda page. It's Surge .soda on Facebook. There's also, obviously, we're on Twitter, Surge Movement. We're not super active right now, but really just finding ways, and obviously calling 1-800-GET-COKE, going to Coca-Cola's Facebook page. Pretty much anything that you can do, tell your friends about it, because I definitely think it's gonna come back, and it's just a matter of time. But we all got to work together and make the big corporation listen to their consumer, because I think that's the biggest problem right now.
Oh yeah, and anytime that there's any sort of recession, it seems to be that people go for the nostalgic items. Comic books go up in sales. People want to be entertained, so movie sales are up. I mean, people just want to get a part of their childhood back, because it was like a time where things just didn't suck. So for the most part, so I think Surge would definitely be on that kind of like list where I think this would be a perfect time to bring it back. But Evan, I do appreciate you coming on to BevNerd.com. This has been a lot of fun, and shockingly, this is the first interview. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just trying to make it. You definitely sound like you've been done a few lately, so that's awesome.
No problem, man. I'm like a deer in the headlights right now. No problem.
So if you're one of the Surge Movement fans and you're watching this video, we thank you from BevNerd.com. Like us on Facebook, that's facebook.com/BevNerd, and on Twitter is @BevNerd, and also on Instagram and Pinterest. So that's we do soda and snack food reviews, and we do other food-related web series. So check out BevNerd.com and check out all that cool stuff.
Thank you very much, Jason.
All right, well, thank you, and I'll actually be in Atlanta in March, so I hope to see the billboard when I'm downtown.
If you're there, if you're, I know it'll be up for a month, so if you get there and you see it, definitely send us a picture. Oh.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I'll actually be at a convention, and if maybe we can get some flyers made up and pass them out. That can be on the table too, because when what better way is to get a bunch of people feet on the ground in Atlanta than something like that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Now, if only we could get all 13,000 members in front of Coca-Cola's headquarters.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Well, thank you, Evan. And as soon as we can, we will post this, and it will be shareable for everyone.
Perfect. All right, sounds great. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, man.
All right.
Bye bye.